Hello, friends. Here we have another read aloud. Today's is called The Invisible Boy. As you can probably see, I'm wrapped up today in my nice little blanket. On the day that I am recording this currently, it is snowing out there. And let me tell you, those snowflakes are large. So if you want to join me, go ahead and pause this video and grab a little blanket yourself and get nice and cozy. Let's take a peek at the back cover. Ooh, now this cover does not have a back blurb per se, but it has a couple of little reviews. Let's go ahead and read to see what other individuals think about this book. A story with heart and soul. The Invisible Boy brings the power of kindness and compassion into focus. Here's another one. Love this. The Invisible Boy has got to be one of my all-time favorite books for kids. Oh, wow, it sounds like a couple of people really enjoyed it. I bet we will too. Let's go ahead, dudes, open on up and take that picture walk. The Invisible Boy. And I'm wondering why that character looks a bit lighter than everybody else. That character also seems to be a little bit down on himself. All the other individuals are nice and bright and colorful, and he just isn't. Wow, he sure is creative, isn't he? Oh, here we have a new character approaching. I wonder what they're talking about. Here's that new character again. Oops. Hey, we're seeing that invisible. Wait a minute, is he getting to be a little bit more bright? Is he getting his color? See? He's nice and colorful as well. Oh, I'm noticing that his expression is seeming to change. He seems to be a little bit more upbeat, more enthusiastic. Oh, that looks to me like a nice little conversation taking place. And there we have it. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and dive into The Invisible Boy. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Mrs. Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space. Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for the kickball teams. The best players get picked first, then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's direction and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over on the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did, except Brian. He wasn't invited. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table, doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons, scaling tall buildings. Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles. Greedy pirates digging for treasure, and superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. On Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. "What's that?" asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. And the kids all laugh when Justin says, "Bulgogi! It's Korean barbecued beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some?" "There's no way I'd eat boogergy." Everybody laughs except Brian. He sits there, wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. "Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian." Yum. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. "You're Brian, right?" "Yeah." "Thanks for the note." "Hey, Justin!" Emilio calls out from the tetherball court. "You're up next!" "Sorry, I gotta go," says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing," he adds before taking off. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asks the kids to team up in 2s or 3s for a very special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads toward Justin. "I'm already with Justin," says Emilio. "Find someone else." Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. "Mrs. Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only at 2. Come on, Emilio, let him work with us." Okay, I guess." And that's where we're seeing that Brian is getting a little bit more color. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. "Whoa, cool," says Emilio. "What kind of people do you think would live in houses like that?" I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story," says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. It's lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. "Brian!" he hears someone shout. "Hey, Brian, over here!" Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian and he makes room for him at the table. "Cookie? Thanks." Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. So friends, I chose this story, The Invisible Boy, for a very particular reason. As you know, during this remote learning adventure that we're having right now, it's been a little bit more difficult to talk with each one of you in a personal, everyday way. So I just wanted to read this book to let you know and to remind you that you are not invisible, especially not to me. Although we are not all together in our classroom right now, we are kind of together on the computer screen. Please remember, you are not invisible. I love you so much. You are in my heart, each and every one of you. I love you so much, and I miss you like crazy. You are not invisible. I hope you enjoyed The Invisible Boy. I can't wait to see you on our next Read Aloud. Goodbye, my friends.